Hey everybody, welcome back to NDSU after spring break. A couple days in, hopefully you're all settled, ready to go for the last 7 weeks of the semester. I've been long overdue for a video, so I thought I would reacquaint you. My name is Kevin Brooks. I've been your professor all semester, even if you haven't seen me or met me in person yet, but looking forward to working with all of you the second half of the semester as well. I want to cover three things in terms of what we're going to be doing for the next 7 weeks. First one is just the blogging is going to continue, the long form writing. You're going to continue to work on that, and you're going to continue to work particularly on, as it says here, your avatar, your voice, and the cause that you want to support. So the blogging is more open for you this second half, continuing to work on the issue that's important to you and approach it the way you want. I'll usually give you a sort of an out of focus if you want. If you're not sure what to write in a particular week, I'll try to connect it to the other stuff that we're doing in class for that particular week. But I am really opening it up for you to really try to find your legs or your wheels or whatever your favorite image and metaphor is for your blogs, to see if you can really both sustain that, right? Because that is one of the hardest challenges, is just sustaining blogging, having a good consistent rhythm for it. And then really finding that voice and the reach with it, really trying to work on spreading your message and using your classmates to help you do that. Hopefully you'll certainly have a team that you're going to work with, and I'll talk about that in a minute. They can help you spread, but continue to use the whole class. Try to build that stronger sense of community that we were getting to work on in the first half, and use it to help you get your message out. So that's number one, the blogging. We're going to continue to do that. Second thing is the readings. Obviously, we're going to continue working with strategic social media. We've got chapters there that particularly the first one will be on civic engagement and social media, which should be a natural fit. The next couple, you might think, how is this going to work in here? But the authors do a nice job of bringing it back to key concepts, right? And they work on those kinds of core concepts, not on particular channels, but key concepts that should be relevant to you regardless of what you're doing. Then I'm introducing a third book for the class, and in many ways this will be the one that's more front and center for the second half of the semester, the content strategy for the web. Now this goes beyond social media, as the title would suggest. You're going to be looking at nonprofits' websites, not just their use of Facebook, Twitter, or other social media platforms, but you're going to look at what their websites look like. You're going to provide a consultation for them based on what you see there, not in the sense that you're going to offer up a redesign of their website, but you're going to help them see what content is there and seems to be effective, what content might need to be added to be more effective, maybe help them think about a strategy that can get them to engage their community, build their audience, move them from audience into user, as we've been learning in the first half of the semester. So this book in many ways will be more like the Social Media for Social Good, a little more readable, written for a general and professional audience, written for people who are working in the field, not written for students in the same way that this one is really written for an academic setting, a classroom. This one's written for the professionals. Hope you will continue to enjoy both of them. So the third thing, and the big thing that we're really doing the second half of the semester, is working in teams on a particular project. And so I would encourage you to spend some time with this assignment. So I got to this through a link, but it's also here, the service learning assignment. And what I've tried to do on this first page is just define the goals, give you the timeline, and it'll be important, I think, for you to be able to conceptualize the whole project, because it's about an analysis stage, a proposal stage, or strategic plan stage, and then kind of a prototype stage, testing that out with the possibility that you're going to make some revisions to your plan based on that prototyping or that initial testing of your plan in weeks 14 to 16. So this gives you the timeline at a glance. This gives you a core image from the content strategy book that you'll see over and over again. And then this gives you down here the technical or the professional word, the deliverables, the assignments that you're going to do. Building on two short ones right away, a listening report that hopefully you can get done this week, if you get everything clicking. Then a memo to me that contains within it two specific things, a network map and a content analysis for your organization that you're going to work with. And then the big project is building towards this assessment report and strategic web content plan for your organization. I'll let you read through those things. And then the fourth deliverable is putting that plan into action. And so those are those stages that I was talking about and that will carry us over the next 7 weeks of the semester. So we'll continue to work online. You'll continue to write blogs. I guess I should also mention, hopefully you will continue to use Twitter as a way to support your project, certainly as a way to spread your blog message, to connect with the class. We'll continue to use our Facebook group, and if you haven't joined that, not too late to join that. You as a team, when you get back to looking at sort of what I'm suggesting you do this week, it's in here somewhere, is interacting with your partners or teams for this class. And I'm giving you a chance here to figure out what's going to make sense to all of you. So let me just say a little bit more about that. Based on sort of how everybody did and at the midterm and working towards finishing assignments in the class, it looks to me that I've got still 11 active students here, so I've updated the roster. 3 people, Ashley, Natalia, and Max, have said that they would like to work together, so that leaves 8 more people in class who need to form a team. One way we could do this certainly would be 2 groups of 4. That would work in terms of just being a nice, simple approach. That might seem daunting in an online class to have 4 people coordinate each other. Another way to do it is 4 groups of 2. Open to that possibility, or we could have one group of, well, I guess we can't have one group of 3 and one group of 5. That wouldn't make much sense. So I'll leave it at those 2 possibilities for you: 2 groups of 4 or 4 pairs of 2. If I don't see or hear from some of you, I will step in and just make groups out of the 8 people that are remaining in the class. So you can also go that way if you want to trust me in terms of getting you all organized and working together. So once you form a team, obviously I'm suggesting here that you want to make sure you interact, figure out how you're going to communicate with each other most effectively. Then the second really important thing that you want to do this week is to interact with your nonprofit. Again, Ashley, Natalia, and Max have already identified working with the Rape and Abuse Crisis Center. Now, I don't know if they've had any communication with them. Obviously, you want to not come to an organization and say, hey, I'm going to work for you, but really try to talk to them up front and explain that you're in this class and that you have this assignment and that you'd be willing to work with them if that was of interest to them. You might want to lay out for them the kind of time commitments that you would need from them. They would need to be able to meet with you up front, probably give you an hour of their time and really talk through what they understand to be their web presence and their social media strategy. They'd need to be able to give you some time later on to give you some feedback on your analysis, and they might need to give you a little bit of time later on to see how your action plan gets played out. So you might talk to them about a 3 to 5 hour commitment in terms of face-to-face meetings with them, and then you might want to talk to them about sort of ongoing shorter communication in between. So again, approach them as offering this opportunity, not telling them this is what you want to do. One of the things that you're going to see over and over again in the next 7 weeks is that importance of listening to an organization. Even when you work within that organization, you need to listen to the other people who are part of it. You need to listen to your supporters as well, if you're an organization, to understand what it is they're looking for from you. So if you can get these 2 things done, form your team, interact with your nonprofit, that will put you in good shape to do your listening report. Now this is going to all have to come together pretty quickly. You're probably going to want to try to set up a meeting with this nonprofit for Monday or Tuesday of next week and try to get that listening report done, either right on schedule by Tuesday evening of next week or certainly early as it spills over into week 11. As with everything in the class, we've got a little bit of wiggle room, but I also want to try to tighten things up this second half. Last thing that you can certainly be doing is interacting with me. This would be a complex assignment if you were in a face-to-face class. This is extremely complex assignment when you're working as distributed teams. But this is also, I hope, for some of you or for all of you, good experience in learning how to be a distributed worker. It's certainly part of the workforce. In 2018, it's you have people working from home, working from different locations, or even when they're working in an office, working with people at different locations within the same company. And so there's some really valuable extra skills that will just be developed by trying to figure out how to make something like this come together effectively. I have updated 10, 11, and 12, so you can get a look at the things that I'm asking you to do for those weeks. I've still got to get to the remaining grouping over here, but these 3 will get you going. As I mentioned, you'll definitely want to come take a look at this assignment. Just clicking right here will give you the key thing that you need to get going. You can also certainly look ahead at the assignment at some of the additional details in the rubric that are available there. Definitely. Oh, the other thing, last thing I wanted to say, I had a note here that I skipped over, was just with the blogging that we're doing the rest of the way. What I'm also really encouraging you to do, as I mentioned, tightening things up a little bit. Where to go? Here we go. Is really aiming for, maybe it's not there, but really aiming for that Sunday night. There it is. Aiming for that Sunday night post every week, really trying to give your classmates a chance to read it and respond to it before the week is out, really giving each other a chance to spread the work that you're doing through their social networks. So, hope that sounds good. Hope it doesn't sound too daunting. Hope it sounds like it'll be relevant to you. Please do let me know when you've got your team formed, or again, I will step in and say, here's how we're going to go forward the rest of the way. Hopefully you know some of the other people in the class, and it should be a pretty straightforward process for you, but if not, I'm happy to help out and happy to be a resource for you. Looking forward to working with you over the next 7 weeks, and looking forward to seeing the great work that you're going to do with local nonprofits. Go team!